We're live, of course, in Newcastle because we're coming to you courtesy of BetMGM. BetMGM Premier League Darts is back for a new season tomorrow with Newcastle right here in this city hosting the first night, the opening night of what is a long and grueling 17-week schedule in venues across the UK, Ireland and Europe. And two of the top players are joining Alex Crook and myself this lunchtime. Ladies and gentlemen, delighted that Humphries and Stephen Bunting has joined us live here in studio. Come on, studio, how about a good welcome for these lads? Yes, indeed. And they deserve a round of applause. Luke, I haven't seen you since Cardiff, mate. You and I did a chat down there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. How do you feel about life on the road as a top darts player? And you are one of the top players, if not the top.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's busy. You know, as you just said, it's 17 grueling weeks where it's not just Premier League. There is tournaments in between as well that we have to play. So it is busy, but it's fun as well. You know, it's enjoyable going to all these different places in the UK, Europe, and, you know, we go to Ireland and just to get to experience some great crowds. This is definitely one of the best ones of the calendar.
Is he the man to beat, Stephen?
He's definitely one of them. Obviously, he's one of the best players in the world. He's a really nice lad as well, so we get on really well, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
On and off the hockey. But yeah, he's definitely one of the ones to beat.
Yeah.
What's that like?
Alex?
What's that like being on tour? Are you all big mates? Is there any sort of rivalry between you when you're not on the hockey?
Yeah, we do have certain rivalries. Obviously, we sit in little packs, don't we? To be honest, we see each other more than we see our families. It's so busy on tour these days, and yeah, if we're not playing in a tournament, we're away at an exhibition or trying to get as much family time as we possibly can. But yeah, it's a grueling schedule, but the prize money is unbelievable, and the sport's only going from strength to strength.
It sure is. It's marvellous what darts has become. You don't need me to tell you that. Is there pressure on you, Luke, going into this as defending champion? Because you're there to be knocked off the perch, aren't you?
Yeah, of course, there's always pressure on you when you're the defending champion of any tournament. You know, I think the pressure's always going to be on Luke Littler more than anybody because he's winning all the time and he's expected to keep winning. And if he doesn't win, then it's a surprise nowadays. So obviously I ran him close on Sunday in the Masters. And he knows that, you know, there's other players now playing pretty well. You know, Gern Price is playing good and Gian's testing him. So, you know, Luke Littler's definitely the man to beat. But, of course, I'm the reigning champion. So, yeah, he's going to want to take that off my hands, and I'm going to do everything I can to...
Let me pick you up on that. You declared after Sunday's Nair defeat to him in the Masters final, the Winmau Masters final, Luke Littler, the greatest darts player that's ever lived. Is he?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to backtrack on that. I think what I mean to have said maybe he's the most talented dart player ever. You know, I still think that maybe, you know, the argument would still stand with maybe Phil is the greatest, of course, of what he achieved. But I just think natural, raw talent that he's got, I think that is, to me, what would say is the greatest dart player ever. And, you know, it's just the way he doesn't ever fold under pressure. He's always so great. And, yeah, I mean, it's hard to sit here and backtrack and say, oh, no, Phil. So Phil is one of the greatest, of course. But I just think with his talent, yeah, he's the most talented dart player.
Because I found it a bit curious, Luke, because you're great rivals. And yet you're saying... he's the greatest guy of the lot. He's the greatest player of the lot.
Of course, but that doesn't mean I can't beat him, you know, or I won't beat him or I won't challenge him. But, you know, like I said, he is the most talented dart player in the world. I think it's obvious. Me saying it was kind of just stating the obvious, really. But that doesn't take anything away from myself thinking I'm just going to, you know, lose every game I play against him. I ran him close on Sunday and, you know, he's still there to be beaten. I can beat him. I've beaten him in many major finals before. So, yeah, as much as I was giving him a great compliment, that wasn't me backing down saying, you know, I'm just going to give you the wins every time. I'm still up for, you know, trying to test him every week.
Who do you boys think would win if we could get a time machine and we could get Taylor at the peak of his powers against Littler as he is now?
Personally, I'd have to say Phil. I think Phil was he had everything. He put the dedication in. He'd practice a lot of hours, and Phil did it with different shaped darts. He done it with the fat stumpy ones. He done it with the big thin ones. So he did it with every single set of darts he's used. So I think just longevity, what Phil did for our sport, 16-time world champion, I think he'd just edge it.
And in terms of Littler, we did see at the Worlds where maybe the crowd went a bit overboard. They booed him. Obviously, he reacted to that in his interview afterwards. What did you make of that? Why is he not perhaps as loved by those fans as, say, Phil Taylor?
It's the same scenario for myself. When I was world champion, world number one, I was getting booed every time I come out. I think that it's just an English thing, isn't it? You kind of want to break down the person that's dominating, and you know, for me, I think that he's achieved so much and he's winning all the time that people maybe get a little bit bored of it, and they just want someone else to win. So they're trying desperately to try and maybe put him off a little bit. And yeah, we've seen it at the Masters. You know, before he comes on, he gets booed, but then when the song comes on, everything's great. So yeah, I think it's just a little bit of pantomime thing that the crowd seem to like to do. You know, if you're at the top of the game, then sometimes people just want to pull you down a little bit.
You got a bit of backlash, did you not, Stephen? On social media, you called yourself the people's champion. Did you crown yourself that? Did you say, I'm the people's champion?
No. What actually happened was, obviously ITV, Sky and all these production companies put me out there as the people's champion. There was VTs everywhere saying I was the people's champion. So I just jumped off the back of that. And everyone seems to think I proclaimed myself the people's champion, which wasn't the case. So yeah, I took a lot of stick. I've pulled away a bit from social media, and yeah, I need to stop looking at that and concentrate more on the dartboard.
But that was unfair on you, mate, because you strike me as a very humble guy. Social media can be an absolute cesspit, and you can get caught up in it quite unwittingly.
Yeah, of course, and yeah, maybe I was a bit naive in the statement I put out, but yeah, I think I've handled it really well after that. Evidence is I'm in the Premier League, I'm in the top league in the world of darts. I'm still number 7 in the world, and my fans are still there, still buying me merchandise and still supporting me. So I still feel loved on social media, and in the venues we go to, they still chant my name. So yeah, I still feel loved, and I'll just try and keep giving back to them.
You talk about some of the venues you go to, the countries you go to. Darts in Saudi Arabia, Luke, did it work? No alcohol?
I mean, I said it before, alcohol doesn't need to provide a good time. You know, you can have a good time without it.
It helps in the darts, though, doesn't it?
Was the atmosphere there that
comes from.
was missing that we usually get? Probably, yeah. I think some of us players, we thrive on atmosphere. We thrive on the crowd, you know, buzzing, and you get a buzz from it. You know, like for me, that was the only thing missing, and I don't see that ever changing. You know, I don't see in 5 years' time that all of a sudden the crowds in Saudi are going to be going mad and stuff like that. I think it's more of a respectful culture where they sit and just enjoy the sport that they're watching, rather than, you know, jumping out of their chairs and stuff like that. And you know, if the English fans were ever going to go there, 6.5 hours away, you know, there's so many tournaments they can go to in the UK that they're not going to get people travelling there. So for me, you know, I think that's just going to be a tournament that's going to please the Middle East more than the UK fans. It
shows the reach of the sport, though, Stephen. I mean, when you first get into this and you realise, hang about, I'm pretty good at this, and you've stayed with it, and now you're a top player, could you have imagined the reach this sport has now got?
Never in my wildest dreams. Obviously going to countries like Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, New York, playing in special venues. I never thought it would happen in my lifetime, but to be able to do that now, the last 2 years more than ever, and hopefully I want a lot more of it. So I need to keep on the practice board and keep myself playing at the top level.
You start in Newcastle tomorrow. I'd imagine the atmosphere is going to be raucous, to say the least.
Yeah.
You've got 17 venues over the next few weeks. Do you have a favourite arena?
Yeah, mine's Leeds, just because I'm a Leeds fan, so I get the best support there. And but take that aside, take away that sort of feeling, Dublin is the best. Yeah, it's the most unreal atmosphere. It's so loud. And they are just the best fans I've ever experienced. So for me, Dublin is the utmost best atmosphere.
You're bound to say Liverpool, Stephen, aren't you?
No, I'm actually going to say Berlin. I really enjoyed going to Germany last year. The fans in Germany are unbelievable.
You have a massive following.
Yeah, I've got a great following in Germany. That may be because I do Christmas messages in German. That take me about 10 hours to record. But yeah, I've got a special fan base over in Germany.
Bunting. Happy Christmas to you all in Germany. I need to watch for that.
Yeah. Oh no, it's.
So you do it in German, don't you?
Yeah, I do it in German. So it takes a lot of studying because I can't speak a word of German, to be honest. I can only just speak English.
Brilliant. Now this man's a Leeds United fan, and you're a Liverpool fan. Are you with the Arne Slot army? Are you with Slot? Is he the man?
I don't know whether he's the man or not. Obviously, there's Xabi Alonso out there, Stevie G.
He won the league last year.
Yeah, I know. but it's been so hard to watch this season. I know we've got injuries and stuff, but obviously we've just bought a £60 million defender in, so they're backing him in the transfer market. I know he's not coming in till summer, but yeah, hopefully he can turn things round. If we get top 4, I think it'll be a bit of a successful season considering the way it's gone, and yeah, push on to the Champions League and see what we can do in that.
Let's finish with this then, Luke Humphries. And I remember from Cardiff, you ask you a question, you'll give me an answer, which I like a lot. What would you rather have? What would you rather have in future weeks? You win the BetMGM Premier League darts trophy again, which is right here in front of us, or Leeds United survive relegation?
It's a tough question, but I'm going to go with winning that.
Bye-bye Leeds.
Yeah.
Where's Matt Gibson when you need him? Did you hear that about your Leeds? He went for the trophy again. I know, you can't believe it. Matt's run out in tears.
You ask the Leeds United players what they'd prefer, if they'd rather stay up or me win that. I'm sure they'd say stay up in the Premier League. So you got to be selfish.